The rain is falling. The fans are soaked. But here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The drive will start with an option going left. And, right away, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for Browns TD. And, Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The Ravens take over first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they are over 500 for the season, 4-3. They got back above 500 with a victory last week. And, Charles, you think this is a very important week for them, do you not?
I certainly do, because when you start to do the math, and yes, I'm using my fingers to count. If you're 4-4 at the midway point, let's say you're saying 10 wins is your cutoff line for a playoff berth. It's usually right around that number. A loss here, all of a sudden you've got to go 6-2 down the stretch just to reach 10 wins. That means this game is vital.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. This running game is so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The Ravens at 4-3, a game over 500. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On third down, Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Their own 18-yard line.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. To throw is Watson. Wide open receiver complete. Now they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3-and-out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's got some space here. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape for 1st and goal.
Chubb is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. An option handoff here to Dobbins. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven 1st down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Working with a 2nd and 3. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Another run here with Dobbins. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, these two teams hooking up for the 2nd time this year. They first met back in October, week 7, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Yeah, it looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Tucker's kick is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The Browns drive about to get started. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or 2nd seed come playoff time.
Throwing again is Watson. Dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Watson now to throw. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's pulled in at the 32. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It's J.O.K. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there for the sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Watson on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
The extra point up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing is Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Returnable for Grant. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
On 2nd and 15 now. Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to his...
This is caught inside the 15. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Browns will extend their lead here just before halftime. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year. And our score will stay right where it is. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker, the kickoff.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out. I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw, Watson.
And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, Watson. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And that one results in 35 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter.
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. They run it again with Chubb. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's the pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 8-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with career touchdown number 75. And the Browns take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
That's good for the Baltimore Ravens.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They'll go option to the short side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
4th down, here's Jackson. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. On 1st and 10, Watson. And that is taken in by Njoku. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Watson off play action. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
DC ready? Hey.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
DC, right?
The offense on third down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things, but these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
This will be fielded inside the 5. Now a crease here as he's past the 30, up to midfield. And it'll end there as he goes out of bounds, but a heck of a return all the way inside the opposite 40.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Now Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now Jackson on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, a quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. He's going to take another shot here. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. After the interception, here's Jackson. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there. With his third touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Browns add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. Got his man there. It's Wallace, complete. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And they hope to polish things off. And what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak. And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for it.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll get this only up to about the 35.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Play action. It's Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's able to find Wallace.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just